Hello there guys, and welcome to this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video or live stream today, not a video. This is your host Q8Pilot. I am totally excited to be doing this live stream today with having all of you fine folks watching this live stream. I have absolutely no idea how it's going to perform. I'm not sure. The internet connection in this part of the world is very unreliable, but I hope that I'll be able to give you something fun, entertaining. And we are currently situated at LaGuardia in New York. We're going to be doing a lot of different things today in this stream. And I know many of you guys have really wanted me to do a full flight. So that's actually something we will do today. We are going to be flying from LaGuardia to Bradley International. And then I'm going to do some challenges. I'm going to have you guys actually tell me where do you want to go. So I'm going to be taking requests from you guys to let me know where you want me to fly today. I think that should be fun. I do want to welcome all of you guys to the stream. And we are going to get started. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We are going to we're going to hit 5 here on the keypad. This is the aircraft that we're going to be flying today. And let me see here. There we go. So this is the Cessna 172. This is the, not the Garmin 1000 aircraft, but the classical, if you wish. And you can see the beautiful scene here in the clouds. This is live weather at LaGuardia with, of course, live time and date and everything that goes in terms of live date and time. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire up the Cessna. We're going to take off and we're going to fly to Bradley International. And then we're going to do some challenges. And as soon as we land, I'm actually going to start taking your request, and you guys can just tell me where you want to fly, and I will go exactly to those locations that you guys want me to go to, where possible, of course. So here's let's hop into the cockpit and just look at the grass here and the trees and the buildings. And frame rate is actually pretty good. I was averaging about 45 frames or so when I was checking this out earlier today. So yeah, so this I really like this Cessna a lot. It reminds me of the the Cessna that I flew sometime back in the UK. So it looks it looks, of course, in terms of the textures. The modeling is phenomenal in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, I haven't seen anything that's this authentic and realistic, to be honest. So yeah, yeah. If you get it to run with $5,000 equipment, yeah, you do definitely need I've seen some mid-range machines that can run the sim just fine, and there was an NVIDIA driver that came out, I believe, just right before the release, which optimizes Microsoft Flight Simulator on your PC, given all the resources and the performance of your system. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide the yoke here. And we are going to first turn on the battery here on my Alpha flight control. That's what I'm using in this video. And we're going to turn on our beacon lights. So the beacon light is now on. And we are going to make sure the fuel shutoff valve is open. And we need to make sure the mixture is actually here. We're going to crank the throttle a bit, and we're going to put the mixture on full rich, and we're going to give it some fuel here. All right, and then mixture to idle. Let's turn on the alternator. And let's start the engines. All right, and we have a good start. I have lights. Ooh, parking brake wasn't set. It is set now. And let's see here. We're going to bring the RPM just a little bit down here to 1,000 RPM. Now, in terms of realism, I will tell you that nothing comes close to the visuals of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. In terms of the weather depiction, nothing comes close. In terms of the flight model, I'll let you guys decide, or maybe if we have a real-world pilot with us, maybe he can appraise us on the flight model as soon as we start taking off. But I'll tell you guys, this flight simulator is a total revolution in this genre. Really, flight simulation has never seen anything like this before. Just absolutely beautiful modeling, texturing. The representation of the world is absolutely phenomenal. It really does bring us closer to reality in every respect. So if we look at our flight plan here, it's just really we're going to fly direct to our destination right there. Let's see if we can go to... I'm actually not very familiar with this, but I'm not sure even if that's the right airport. But anyway, we're going to just come here. We're going to make sure this is on GPS, and we are going to hit the magic button. This reminds me of the FSX days, where hitting the B button resets the altimeter. So all is looking good now. All right, let me see what you guys are asking me here. This plane came with a basic edition. Don't like the G1000. I don't like the G1000 myself, so that makes two of us. It is definitely a big leap forward. Yes, absolutely. FS Labs flight model is solid. Yeah, I only got a couple of hours last night. Yeah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and taxi to the runway. We're going to turn on our taxi lights on. And I'm going to make sure that it's actually on here on my flight controls. All right, we can bring the yokes back now. And we can release the parking brake. And we're just going to give it... The sounds, by the way, are phenomenal. So it's not just the... the representation of the world and everything else, but the sounds of the aircraft, the wildlife, everything is just absolutely gorgeous. Everything's done very, very well. All right, let's see where we are here. I have no clue where I'm going, but I think that the runway is right there, so let's go there. Yeah. I'm suffering a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit of stutters, and that is probably the streaming software I'm using, which is Streamlabs OBS, because I've had no issues whatsoever prior to starting the streaming software. Right, let's turn this on here. There we go. Transponder is on. Just look at those clouds. Just really gorgeous. I mean, this is something we've always complained about, I think, in just about all the simulators. I mean, I remember P3D version, from the very first version. I think version 2 is the first version I started using. And all the way to version 5, clouds were always an issue. And we had to get like so many add-ons and so many tweaks to make it work. And the same thing with X-Plane. But here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, things are totally different, and the clouds look absolutely amazing. All right, let's turn on the strobes. Strobes, landing light. By the way, setting up the controls is a breeze in MSFS. All right, here we go. We are approaching there. I can see there is a. I'm not sure if that's actually real player right there, because I've set everything to live. So live players, live everything. Live weather and live time. All right, here we go. All right, mixture on full rich. And we're good to go. We're going to rotate at about 60 knots or so. And there we go, 60 knots, and rotate. Oh yeah. We're going to climb to about 3,000 feet. Let's just see where we are going. We're going actually in the opposite direction. So we're going to make a turn as soon as we are. I think the runway is right behind us now. Just look at the water. The modeling of the water looks absolutely fantastic. Very, very immersive scene there, and everything looks Empire State Building. Yeah, I've left the points of interest on so we can see some interesting things along the way. And what we can do is we can begin our turn now. We'll ease off a bit on the power. Here we go. I've turned, by the way, ATC off because it can get really annoying. But I will be doing a full flight later on, and we will use ATC services as well, so that you can also get an appreciation of how ATC works in the new sim. Just look at that, just really fantastic view. Look at that. Just really awesome. All right. What we can do is we can turn on the autopilot, and we can click on nav here. (500 feet per minute). And hopefully now we can just fly to our destination at Bradley. We can lean the mixture a bit here. That looks good. Well, the FPS is pretty good, if you ask me. I really haven't had any issues with FPS so far. Um, what I can bring the counter, but I'm averaging about 45. In some cases, I get more, but you know, when you fly in, you know, around LaGuardia, then yeah, definitely the frames. I was getting about 45 frames at the parking area where the aircraft was parked. So yeah. All right, let's see here. 2,000, no, 3,000. Vertical speed about 300, 400. That's fine. We're going to climb to about 3,000 feet. That's sufficient. And if we look here, the distance is about 22.1 nautical miles, so not really a very long flight. Let's switch to external view here. Again, if you look at the you know, the buildings, the houses, the trees, again, the water waves, and by the way, the water waves react to the weather, so everything is simulated, not just simulated, but it's all interconnected. So when you fly in a thunderstorm, for example, you'll see violent waves, and you'll see, you know, very high tides. So really, this simulator is absolutely phenomenal. Just look at those clouds. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Lots of folks flying here in this area. I can see one here, and there's another one right over there somewhere. Yeah, I can see the strobe lights right here. And we can actually change, you know, we can pan around, and just you can see the shadows here, reflect the cloud reflections on the trees down here. You can see also the road traffic. Just really phenomenal. Really, really nice. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the airport is right ahead of us there. And even if it's not, I'm going to land the aircraft down at that runway, which I can see in front of us there. So actually, let's do... let's see here. Let's do an alt hold. And we're going to reduce our power just a bit. And you guys can start letting me know what is it that you want me, or where do you want me to fly to. I'll pick the places where, you know, I feel are, you know, worthwhile traveling to. Now, we're going to take a look also at the aircraft. Now, I have to mention that this, although I was provided with a preview copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator, courtesy of my partners at Threshold, this copy of Microsoft is my own. So I've actually paid for this. This is the premium deluxe version. And I paid the full price for it, so it was not gifted to me. But I do have the preview copy, which unfortunately I could not really do much with due to my really busy schedule at work. I've been working very long hours lately, so it really prevented me from seizing the opportunity of giving you guys some, you know, some content. So yeah, I'm kind of late in the game, if you will. I haven't really covered a lot of Microsoft content here on the channel, simply because of my involvement in and many other things in real life. I was an alpha tester, and I was able to log about 5 hours or so during the entire period of testing. So I don't think that's an airport right there, but I could be mistaken. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't see anything here on the map, so 14 nautical miles. Okay, I'm running an I3 and still getting 144. That is funny. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't quite get you. What are my thoughts on what exactly? I'm not really keeping up with the chat. I'm just really trying to focus here and see where we're going. So what I'm sure if you ask the question again, I'll be sure to answer it. Are you running a 2080? Now I'm running the 2080 Ti, and it is really a brilliant graphic card, if you ask me. I really like it a lot. I think that is a runway right there, guys, and we are gonna land right there. Just take a look here. Just look at this scene. Really, really nice. I've seen some really nice places. By the way, in Africa, if you you can actually search for a point of interest. So the way you can go to the search box in the world map, and you can simply search for wildlife. So you can type in like elephant, giraffe, or bear, grizzly bear, and you will actually get locations where you're able to visit the wildlife and actually see them. So just all you have to do is make sure the point of interest is enabled in your settings, and then if you go to the search box and start searching, you'll find them. I'll show you in a minute here. This is where we're going to land. So at this point we are going to, where's the autopilot? Autopilot is disconnected, and we are going to make the turn here to the airport and land the aircraft right over there. All right, here we go. Let's adjust the view here a bit. I think that looks good. Yeah. All right, we're gonna start. We're gonna give the reduce our speed here a little bit. I really enjoy flying GA aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Really well made, extremely immersive. If you guys like to see a challenge, any sort of challenge, we can definitely do that. Is it better than X-Plane? Look, I will tell you this. I really like X-Plane a lot. I like its smoothness, and I like the concept, the community concept that X-Plane has, where everything is free, or most of it is free. You can find almost everything you need for a full flight simulation experience in X-Plane free of charge, and that is something I have a lot of appreciation for. But in terms of the depiction of the world, I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is far better than X-Plane. So definitely the representation of the world, of the weather, wildlife, traffic, even the night lighting, which was, by the way, something I adored in X-Plane 11 until I've seen the night lighting in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it has surpassed the quality, the visual quality, and the realism that X-Plane gives, and that is a fact. Okay, mixture, let's go mixture full rich. And we are going to reduce our speed. We're a bit too high. And a little too fast too. A little bit of wind here as we come into land. All right, we can see the red light now. All right, here we go. Extend flaps. Yeah, definitely the frames suffer a little bit here as we approach the ground, but you know, it's still okay. It's the OBS, I think. Right, let's keep it there at about 60 knots. We're a tad too low. Well, we should be able to correct that. All right, and touchdown. Unfortunately, there is no replay in the sim, so we're just going to have to do with that. And we can do some manual braking here. And we can just exit anywhere we like, and we're just going to exit right over here. All right, we're just going to park the aircraft right here. All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, that we've seen the departure out of LaGuardia, we can again switch here to the external view. There are a few things I want to show you in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I think are worth showing. One of which is the different the different things you can see with the weather. So the weather depiction is exceptionally well made in this flight simulator. Let me go ahead and kill the engines here. So we're gonna make sure there. Let's kill the batteries and all the lights and everything else. All right, so what I'd like to show you is what happens here in terms of the weather depiction and the representation, okay? Maybe it's not a very good area because I also wanted to show you what happens in the all right, let me do this. Let me go back to the main menu, and I'm going to say restart, and that is going to put us back at LaGuardia. And the reason I want to do this is I want to show you what happens to the waves as we change the weather, and how actually the tides differ in different weather. So I think it's interesting to see, to just kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight as to how detailed Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is. All right, so we're just going to wait for this to load. It's going to take a little bit of time, of course, to load the scene. Now I have a 100 megabits per second download and upload, so it should be sufficient. The only problem is that the servers, the YouTube servers, are located in. I'm sure they're redundant, so I'm sure they have a lot of different data centers. But the problem is that there isn't really one that is in close proximity to Q8, where I'm streaming live tonight from. And so there is definitely a lag, and I also don't have a wired connection, so I'm actually connected through Wi-Fi. It's my, you know, it's my own Wi-Fi, but the router is actually located in a separate place. And yeah, all right, so we're back at LaGuardia, and what we're going to do is we are going to switch to the drone camera. So if we click insert, no, that's not it. That's it. Okay. So now we can actually move freely around the world, and we can do a lot of different nice things. I still haven't configured anything to do, so I'm just using the keyboard to pan around and move around here, as you can see. I'm going to show you a few things here, but I want to just go to, we can increase the speed of the drone here. So drone speed, let's take it to about 20%. Now you can see that it's faster. and you can move around the world as you wish. You can do like a aircraft workaround or anything like that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come here. Now this says clear skies. Okay, so this is no longer live weather. This is clear skies. And if we look at the time here, so if I change the time, you can see the beauty of the sky colors. Look at that. You can see here the reflection of the sunlight on the water. You can look at the waves. We can actually come down here. Let me see here. Something is not doing what it's supposed to do. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not sure what it's doing, but it looks like it has frozen. Definitely frozen. Is it going to crash? I don't know. Has definitely frozen. Ah, there we go. We are back. Thank God. Okay. All right. See, let me see which one can take us back down. This is it Z or X? I'm not sure. There we go. F. All right. Now, you will notice that you can hear the sound of the waves as I pan the camera down to this position here. Now, this is what the scene looks like. So you can see that this looks very, very beautiful, very realistic. We can bring up the time of day here again, and we can change this to almost nighttime. And the ambience, the sounds, and what you see on the screen is extremely immersive and very realistic. So we can look here, and it keeps freezing for some reason. I think it's downloading something. Not sure. There we go. All right. So, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so let's go to SWER. There we go. So that's what things look like during nighttime. Just look at that. I mean, this looks very, very realistic in my view. I really love the night lighting in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This looks very, very, very nice indeed. You can see some traffic here, some folks flying around the area, which makes for a very convincing scene. So what we're going to do now, oh, we have a new member. Welcome to the Q8Pilot channel. And we are going to, okay, so let me show you guys, we're going to come here and we're going to change the time to about 6:36 a.m. That's 10:36 a.m. UTC. And we are going to change the weather now to few clouds. Now, when we change the weather, let me just change the time again. I think it's, not sure why it keeps freezing. It's downloading. I'm not sure why. But it keeps kind of freezing a bit and then coming back again. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now we have a few clouds here. As you can see, the scene looks very, very beautiful. You can see the depiction of the clouds and the variation of the clouds, and the scattering as well looks very phenomenal. It looks really, really good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back down to, let's see, there we go. Right here. All right, and we're going to, yeah, that's fine. We can just come down here. That should be able to give us a nice view on, you know, what things look at. Oh, what is this guy doing? Holy moly. Wow. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here to the weather, and we are going to change this from few clouds to scattered clouds. And now you can see what the scene is looking like with the scattered clouds. Again, the variation of the clouds. By the way, they use noise to generate those clouds, and this is exactly the same technology used in Enviro in X-Plane. So the concept is the same. They use noise to generate those clouds, and my goodness, they look just amazing. All right, now we're going to go to from scattered broken clouds. Look at that. Now, have you noticed how the waves have actually changed? I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the waves have actually changed. And now we'll go to high-level clouds, where you can see them probably 30, 40,000 feet. And we're going to go to an overcast. Just look at that. This looks like a real overcast. Definitely does. There you go. Very, very nice indeed. And has frozen again. Not sure why it's doing that. Maybe streaming wasn't such a good idea for this video, but yeah, let's just wait for it to come back. It'll come back eventually. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we're gonna go to rain. Now with the rain, I want you to take notice of the raindrops here on the water, and you can see that there is a little bit of turbulent tides there, so it looks a little bit different. It keeps freezing. I'm not sure why. Maybe my internet connection isn't that great today. But yeah, you can see the raindrops here. And now we're going to go to snow. So things are, if you actually, you can see now the snow. And actually, I've seen it accumulate on the tarmac after a while. And now we're going to go to a storm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at the water waves and how they have changed now with the storm. Look at the stormy condition. Just look at that scene. This just looks absolutely amazing. Just look at that. Very, very nice. You can see the, how disturbed the tides are. I'm sorry about this. I'm not sure what's wrong with the internet connection today. All right, we have a new VVIP member, John Campbell. Welcome to the Q8Pilot channel, my friend. Thank you very much for your support. All right, so now that we've seen what the weather is like, I want to show you something else. Let's go back here to the runways. Okay, now you can see that the runway is a little bit wet here. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to move this way here. All right, I'm going to change this back to rain. Let's go here to rain. All right, now you can see that the runway is getting pretty wet. And let's just change it to, yeah, I think maybe the download isn't that great today. Yeah, there we go. All right, and we're going to change the time of day so you can see it more clearly. All right, so now you can see the raindrops here on the asphalt, and you can see the refraction, which of course gives the visual representation of a wet runway. What we are going to do is we are going to change the weather back to clear skies. Now notice that the runway textures are still wet, so it doesn't actually immediately go away depending on the weather. And if the weather is too cold, it will take longer for the runway to dry. And as you can see there, you can still see some wetness there. And it's not only the asphalt, not runway, but everything surrounding it, including the grass, the building tops. Everything will remain wet for a while, and you can see now that it's actually drying off. Here, as we go here, you can see here now that the runway has completely dried off as effect of weather. Everything is now back to normal. We have a beautiful, lovely sky. So. Again, the depiction of weather is something that is very, very well done in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this is going to give you very, very immersive flights, very immersive flying experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially when you're flying into the rain and into storms. All of that is represented quite well in my view. Nothing comes close, really, in terms of weather. All the add-ons today in all the simulators, with no matter what tweaks are done, nothing comes close to this. Just point and simple. So, Let's see here. Thank you for all the new subscribers. We have Julius has just subscribed to the channel. Welcome to the channel, my friend. And we have Craig. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Welcome and thank you very much for all the new VVIP members. Thank you for your support to the Q8 Pilot channel. All right. So here's what we're going to do now. We are going to go, I want to show you some of the features in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And then we're going to go and maybe do a challenge or fly to a point of interest that you guys want me to fly to. So I'm going to go back to the main menu. And I know some of you guys have asked me for settings. A lot of you guys have, wanting to know the settings. I'm going to do a lot of tutorial videos on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and of course, I love doing the settings guide to X-Plane or P3D, and this is going to be no different. Of course, we are definitely going to do a settings guide video for X-Plane. And we have a new member, new VVIP member. Welcome. I'm not sure if I can say your name. Is it Hervey? I hope I said your name correctly. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel, and thank you very much for your support. Truly appreciated. All right, so this is the main user interface of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Very intuitive in my view. Quite simple to understand. There isn't anything cryptic about it, yet it's very feature rich. So from the profile, this is basically my profile, and as you can see, I haven't really done that many flights. We can go to the hangar, and the hangar is where you can see all your aircraft and preview the look and feel, and you can go inside and outside and all kinds of stuff. We can go to also see the specifications of the aircraft, so a little bit of history, and then some specs here as well. You can go to the liveries. Unfortunately, there is only the default livery right now for this particular aircraft. And now you can see this is the interior of the aircraft, and it is all in showcase mode, which is brilliant, if you ask me. I mean, this is great, especially for for somebody like me who's a content creator and creates videos. I don't really need to use any X camera or anything like that. It's just previews everything for me right there, and I can begin my commentary. But again, for the casual flight simmer, I think you can also admire through the 3D modeling and the beautiful texture work. It looks absolutely amazing, and the light reflection and all of that. You can actually switch as well to manual view. So here I can use my mouse to zoom in and out and pan around the aircraft and do a walk around if that's what you choose to do. And you can also hop into the cockpit, and you can move around and see what's the cockpit is like. The 3D modeling is just outstanding. I mean, very, very realistic. Just look at the if you look at this view here and you look at the reflection of the lights on the instruments, just really phenomenal. Very, very nice. We can also change the aircraft, so that brings us to this subject. These are all the aircraft that ship with the Premier Deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we've got the Zlin Aviation Shock Ultra, the Zlin Aviation Savage Cub. We've got the Cessna Citation Longitude, the Cessna Citation CJ4, the Cessna Caravan, one of my favorite aircraft. You've got a couple of Cessnas. This one is equipped with the Garmin 1000 device, and this one is the one that we've just flown from LaGuardia. Then you've got actually two Cessna 152s. Those two. I really like this Cessna 152. I think it's very well made, very, very realistic, and a lot of people have actually, real-world pilots have vouched for the flight model of this aircraft. So it looks like it's done really, really well. You've got the Beechcraft King Air, and then we've got a Beechcraft Baron G58 and the G36. We've got the Robin DR400, the Cap 10, and then you've got the Pipistrel Virus JMB aircraft. I really don't know what these aircraft are. It was the first time I've seen them. They're probably experimental, especially something like the Icon A5. I think that those are experimental aircraft. Flight Design, the Extra. These aircraft, by the way, a lot of fun to fly if you like, aerobatic flying. The Diamond DA62, beautiful aircraft, really. The Diamond DA40, the DA40NG, and one of my absolute favorite general aviation aircraft, the TBM 930. You've got the Cubcrafter, the Cirrus SR22, and then this is what is very close to every flight simmer's heart, the airliners. So you've got the Boeing 787-10 and the Queen of the Skies, the 747. And then we've got this, Pit Special S2S, and we've got the Airbus A320neo. Now, I've tried the Thrustmaster side stick that was provided to me courtesy of Thrustmaster, and it works very, very well with the Airbus A320neo. All you need to do is just plug in your USB cable, the joystick cable, into your USB port. Microsoft Flight Simulator will automatically detect everything, map everything. You don't really need to do anything other than really enjoy, the flight stick with this Airbus. Okay. So we are. So these are the aircrafts. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Let's go back to the welcome screen. All right. So there is a challenge. There is a landing challenge here. You've got news, activities, and flight training. Now, the flight training is something I really like, and I highly recommend it. So if we go here, you've got the basic controls and cameras. You can familiarize yourself with the flight environment. There's multiple tutorials here to teach you how to fly and master the Cessna 152 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So if you guys want me to try one of these, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do one of those training sessions. But we can also go to the activities. Now, in the activities, there are a number of landing challenges, or there are bush trips. So if we go to the landing challenge, there's famous, epic, and strong wind. If we go to the famous ones here, there's New York, Jackson, USA, there's the Chile, Nice, France, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, Toronto, Canada. What do you guys like? Yeah, the training is definitely cool. I think you'll really enjoy it. I'm not sure which one we should. Let's go ahead and pick this one here. All right, so it shows you the. We are in the Textron Aviation Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Arrival runway 32. Runway links. It's a pretty, long runway. And okay, so flight conditions. These are the flight conditions, and we have to come here and land. All right, so let's fly. So this is what it's showing us here. So there is a 300-degree wind, so almost headwind, at 4 knots. And then we need to be at 70 knots there and land the aircraft there. We're going to start at 100 knots right over here. Okay, that looks interesting enough, and it is a nice scene here in Chile. So yeah, let's try it. All right, we're almost there. Okay. So this is where we're going to land. All right, here we go. I have no clue why it always starts with the All right, let me just give it power. Oh, I know what's going on there. I'm not sure what's going on, but I almost lost everything here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the... Ah, there we go. I wasn't sure what's going on, but it looks like it's the my flight controls. All right, so we're a bit slow because of the slow start. And the runway is to our right, so hopefully we'll be all right. Right, I'm going to reduce the speed down. Right, let me just my field of view. And we're going to set flaps. And we're a bit too high, I think. But we can correct that. Ooh. Not sure why the trim is so sensitive. All right, some wind there, for sure. All right, we're going to reduce our speed a bit here. All right, here we go. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. All right, we made it safely. And I think we need to be like on a taxiway or something to end the challenge. So we're just going to turn the aircraft the other way. Oh, challenge is complete. All right. Wow, 7,230. That's not very good, guys. Yeah, I'll take it though. I need to do a little more practice, but I think you get the idea of the landing challenges. Of course, you can do this with, you know, with the big airliners as well, and you can just keep going through the next challenge. You guys want to see another challenge, or you want to see something else? Just let me know here in the chat, and I will try to, you know, to do what you guys want me to do. So this stream is really open for you guys to tell me, you know, what you really want to see. So. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We can go to the activities menu again, and we can select another challenge maybe. What do you guys like to do? Show us livery. There are no liveries really. It's all right, so you guys want to see different places. Go for New York. We actually just departed from New York. So we did LaGuardia, but if there is a specific place... All right, Captain Q8G wants me to go to Kuwait, and I did promise you guys, well, you know what, it's a good chance for me to show you guys my home country. I will tell you that Kuwait is about 75% accurate. And we'll fly during morning time. But yeah, let's do that. Let me go back here to the world map, and we are gonna go to right here. That's Kuwait International Airport, and we'll get a chance to see Al Hamra Tower, which is a really nice building in Kuwait City. So we're gonna set this as departure, and let's see, fly now. Let's pick another aircraft, shall we? Let's pick, let's see, you guys have something specific you want me to pick? Any aircraft? So just let me know which aircraft you want me to pick, or I'll just pick one myself. You know what, let's try one of those experimental aircraft. So let's go for the Icon A5. And the conditions, let's see, live weather and time. No, we actually don't want live weather and time. So let's just say, you know what, I'll just pick Kuwait, and then we'll just change it. All right, fly. All right, there we go. Shouldn't take very long to load. Okay, I'll try the King Air in the next destination, but if you guys can think of, you know, the next destination you want me to go to. Kuwait to Stockholm on the 172. Yeah, that's pretty funny. So pick a private jet, please. Pick a private jet. Okay, I will do that. And glider, land in Dubai. Look, I'm gonna do like maybe, so if I'm gonna do Kuwait, so that's pretty much representative of the, you know, all the GCC countries. So I want to do as much variety for you guys to for you to see the sim. So ready to fly. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start during, you know, maybe morning time here, because I do want to say I do want you guys to see Kuwait City during daylight, but as we make the turn from Al Hamra Tower, then we can change the time of day so you can see it at night. All right, let's go ahead and take off. Parking brake is released, and let's go. By the way, what do you guys think of the runway textures? Do you think they're well made? I personally think they're very good. But I've heard a lot of complaints from a lot of people saying that they're not very realistic. I don't really get it, but if you guys think, you know, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the, you know, on the runway textures. All right, here we go. Let's take off. All right, and gear is going up. And we can retract the flaps as well. Now, the airport is nothing like the real airport, so this is not what Kuwait International Airport looks like, but the surrounding area looks very realistic, I must say. So we're going to actually head towards Kuwait City now. There, you can see the view much better here. That looks really, really good. Yeah, so in terms of the depiction of the surrounding area, I think it's done quite well. I don't think this is handcrafted, but the satellite imagery is very representative. So this is actually the area surrounding the airport is 100%. That's what it looks like around the airport. This one here. Yeah, I think it's about 75% accurate. Now, that tower that you see right in front of us there is Al Hamra Tower. It's a very, very famous tower in Kuwait City. And it actually is a very nice scene when we approach the seafront, we call it here. The seafront is a very nice, really place to visit in Kuwait. There's a lot of restaurants and lots of activities. Water activities. Of course, now with the COVID situation, everything is closed. But look at that. Yeah, that's very representative of what you would see from the skies above in Kuwait. Mainly desert land and lots of buildings. That's what you'll see. And if you fly from the southern part of Kuwait, so if you're flying from Saudi Arabia coming into Kuwait, you'll actually get to see all the oil refineries and the smoke and all the pollution going on there. But yeah, this looks very, very realistic here. Yeah, and definitely the ring roads are modeled very well. So in terms of the satellite imagery, it's very recent. I can tell you that. We are now approaching Kuwait City. Now, one thing in Kuwait City that is missing, and it's considered a very symbolic building, is Kuwait Towers. I was surprised actually not to see them in this sim, but yeah, they're not there. But if we look here, that is very much that is very much Kuwait. There we go. All right, let me switch here to external view. There you can see things right there. The way the aircraft moves just in the sim, how fluid it is and how it actually responds to the pockets of air. It kind of just, when there's a bump, when there's an air bump, it just goes up and down. That is very, very realistic. All right, this is Kuwait City. Now there is a way that you can, as you can see now, there is the Al Hamra Tower. It's been pointed to us here as a point of interest that we can visit. Most of the buildings in Kuwait City, I think, are modeled to, a reasonable extent. They look pretty good. I found my office building, and actually we might just as we make the turn here, we might be able to see the office building. I can show you exactly where I work. But yeah, it's that accurate. I mean, about 75 to 80% accuracy overall. I recognize a lot of these buildings. Again, very, very well made, I think, in terms of, what things look like. Some things are off, but some things are pretty accurate. Right here, let's reduce our power here a bit. All right, so let me see where you guys want me to go next.
Icon X-Ray Golf Sierra, did you hear my last transmission?
FS20 versus DCS, anyone? Well, I'll tell you, DCS is, it's not completely comparing apples and apples. DCS is a combat simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator is not a combat simulator by any stretch of the imagination, but I will tell you this. DCS looks very, very good in terms of the visuals, the representation of, for example, the clouds and the rain and all of that. But when compared to Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't think it really comes anywhere close to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's just really done in a different way, and it's meant for combat. Now, I'm not, of course, talking about the flight model or anything like that. I'm talking strictly about the realism and the visuals, the representation of the world. As you know, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you have the entire world modeled, whereas in DCS, there are certain areas modeled, and those areas are reasonably well modeled, in my view. Some are extremely realistic, very, very well made, and some are not. But it doesn't really compare to Microsoft Flight Simulator, in my view. All right, so now this is a very close look at Al Hamra Tower. Looks exactly like the real building in real life. This area is again looking, you know, it looks pretty good. I think the whole thing just looks pretty good. That is also a very famous tower in Kuwait, and yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so this area is definitely modeled very, very well. The area around Al Hamra Tower is done quite well. All right, let's switch here to external view. You can take a better look at things from this perspective. And those of you who are from Kuwait, I think you will appreciate what you see. The only thing I kind of was a disappointment is the artificial island is here, that's what we call it, and then Kuwait towers, unfortunately, are not modeled. They're not there. All right, so let me pause this here a bit, and you guys let me change the time of day to nighttime, maybe. There we go. And this is what Kuwait City looks like during nighttime. And I think it, you know, it looks pretty reasonable representation of, you know, what things look like during nighttime. Maybe slightly better in real life than this, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I think again we're having those pauses now. Not sure why. All right, here we go. All right, so that's Kuwait City, ladies and gentlemen, during nighttime, and I am now ready to take the next request and fly into somewhere else. So we're going to pause this here just while I take the next one. Okay, so the first thing I see here is London Heathrow or John F. Kennedy Airport. All right, so we can do, definitely we can do London Heathrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this flight here, and we're going to go to the main menu, and we're going to go to London Heathrow. Muhammad Al-Ali is saying, we want Rumaithia. So Rumaithia is an area in Kuwait, heavily populated area. And yeah, I can see why you want to go there. But I'd really like to cover a lot more places. Okay, so I'm going to go to London Heathrow, and I will not be able to grab all the chat. So I'm not sure who... yeah, Mohammed, yeah, I get you there. All right, so don't be scared of that. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support, guys, that you give to the channel. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We are going to go to London Heathrow because that's the next request. And then as soon as I finish with London Heathrow, I'm going to go to the next one. So we're going to fly just around. We're going to change the aircraft to maybe, yeah, let's try this one here. The Robin DR400. And the departure airport is Echo Golf Lima Lima. Oops. Echo Golf Lima Lima. There we go. London Heathrow. Here we come. All right. That's the departure airport. We're going to leave everything. We can change the time as we go. But yeah, let's say fly. And now we're just going to wait for the sim to load. All right. The next one. Good afternoon, my friend. Dubai or Dammam? I'd like to cover you know, different parts of the world. So we've done Kuwait. Kuwait is in the GCC. So maybe somewhere around that area is fine. So maybe you want to move a little up north or down south. Maybe we can do that. But yeah, I'd like to cover. Gee, I'm not catching up on the chat here, so I'm not sure what. All right, let me see here. Rio is a nice flight. If you can just give me the ICO code, then maybe I'll do it right after we do London Heathrow. By the way, Orbex has released a number of sceneries for for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is already available for purchase at the Orbex store. The one I really like and I plan on getting is the London landmarks and London City Airport. Just from judging from the pictures, they look very, very good, very slick. Yeah. All right, so you want Ihan? That's that's Schiphol Airport. Okay, Bahrain, Bali or Mongolia. Okay, Kilo Mike Tango Hotel. Okay, Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet. All right, I'll try to remember that. But if I don't, as soon as we finish from this from London Heathrow, if you can remind me, Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet, I believe is the one. Okay, Charlie Yankee Tango Zulu. All right, I will do that definitely. That one is definitely in the book. All right, just remind me again as soon as we finish from London Heathrow. Frankfurt. Frankfurt is actually a pretty good airport. Your bandwidth is too low for data streaming. You have been switched to offline mode. Ooh, really? Okay. All right, so we are back here. I'm not sure why we're back in offline mode, but I'm not sure. Maybe the girls are, streaming some Netflix movie or something. I don't know. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to release the parking brake and let's take off. Frame's suffering a little bit, I think. Ooh, wow. There's some strange things happening. I can see people popping on the screen. All right, that's good enough. And rotate. All right, so this is what London Heathrow is looking like. And I'm going to go ahead and retract the flaps as well. There we go. So that's London Heathrow. I think it's reasonably modeled. I think this is one of the handcrafted areas, but I'm not really sure. But I don't know, you guys can tell me. Let's switch to external view here so you guys can see. I'm not sure what this aircraft's doing, but it looks like we're stalling. Or is this the beacon? I'm not sure. I really have no clue why is it beeping like that. But that is, ladies and gentlemen, London Heathrow. Actually, let's go ahead and say live weather. Let's see what happens here. Oh, look at that. Overcast. Wow. That looks amazing. That looks absolutely amazing. There's a lot of guys there flying. Just look at all the traffic there. Lots of people flying here at London Heathrow at this time. That is definitely a lot of guys flying here. Look at that. Really, really nice. England, in general, England and Scotland are modeled quite nicely, simply because of all the green. It looks very, very, very nice indeed. Just look at that scene. Wow. Absolutely amazing. All right, so I think we are ready for the next one, guys. Or you want me to fly some more here, or I think we get the idea. I think London Heathrow is reasonably modeled, to be honest. Looks pretty good, yeah. All right, let's take a look here. All right. There was Sierra Bravo. Romeo Juliet. All right. Oil pressure? Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Let's take a look here. We need to. Yeah, we need to ease off there before we kill the engine. All right. So what we're going to do now is let's go back to the main menu. Continue. And we are going to go to Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Yeah. Now I am going to be doing a series of videos and tutorials, and I was actually thinking to do a tutorial on the camera, on the drone camera, how to set up the drone camera. Now, if you have an Xbox joystick or controller, you can very easily just switch to drone camera, and then you can start moving around. I unfortunately do not have PlayStation or Xbox controllers, so I'm using the keyboard. But I actually, when I was during the alpha stage, I actually mapped all the drone controls to the joystick buttons with the hat switch, because I have multiple of them now. So I've used one of them just strictly for the drone camera, and there are some really cool things that you can do with the drone camera, and you kind of record a sequence and then play it back and things like that. So, all right, so we are going to go to Brazil, I believe. Sierra Bravo Romeo Juliet, Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, I used to have a lot of friends from Brazil back then when I was in college. Really very fine people, very adventurous. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna pick something else. We're gonna pick something that's kind of that flies low and slow. So how about, guys, we take this one here, or maybe let's see. What do we have here? We have. Does this work? The Cirrus SR22. Yeah, let's take a look at that. All right, so we are good there. Actually, before we do this, let us make sure that we're going to go back to our settings, options, general. Let's see here, data. Let's see here, current consumption, all on function data on. Okay. All right, so we turned all of this on, and we are good now. Rolling cache is off. All right, apply and save. All right, and then we're going to go back, and we're going to now go back to the airport. Yeah, okay, so we're good to go. Conditions are fine, and let's say fly. Okay. Is there a specific date of release? Release of Microsoft Flight Simulator has been released already. So I'm not sure if you guys talking about if you're talking about Steam or something else, but it is available at the Microsoft Store, so you can actually go there and get it. All right, so the next hop is Brazil. We're gonna fly there, and then you guys can let me know. Lima Golf, that's Greece, isn't it? Yeah, that would be a nice. Is it Athens? That would be a nice place to go to. Yeah, Corfu. I actually want to see Corfu, and definitely want to. Really waiting on the PMDG 737 to also try it out in the sim. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at Rio de Janeiro.
Cirrus Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra at runway
ready to
2,
go.
ready for takeoff, straight out departure.
All right, what's going on here? Okay, so this is Rio de Janeiro. We can actually switch to the external view, and this is what things look like here. Oh, just look at that scene. Look at that. That looks amazing. Ooh, sorry. Sorry, I'm on the runway. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to give it full power. We're going to release the parking brake, and we are going to take off. We're going to do a few turns and then come back and go to another destination. Let's go ahead and say live weather here. Let's see what we get. All right, there we go. Rotate. All right, and we can switch to, I'm still not sure about those flaps. There we go. All right. Okay, we can now switch to external view. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So let's go ahead and make a turn here. There we go. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. But again, I can't recall who requested Rio de Janeiro, so you can actually tell us if this is realistic or not. Because I mean, to me, it looks visually, it looks stunning. But then somebody has to vouch for, you know, whatever we're seeing on the screen and how accurate it is. The Metropolitan Cathedral of Rio de Janeiro. So somebody maybe can tell us if you know, it's depicted properly here, as far as the location, the surrounding area. I think it looks pretty good. Great China Wall. This is the Christ, the Redeemer. Again, a very famous landmark at Rio de Janeiro. Wow, this looks really good, guys. Here's the external view. I took off. I did a short flight this morning from Gibraltar, and the scene is just phenomenal. Looks exactly like what you'd see in the pictures. Very, very picturesque. Very, very accurate. Yeah, I will definitely do Greece. There was a Charlie Yankee Tango Zulu, was it? Somebody requested that. Can't remember. This looks really, really good, guys. Wow, the scene is just amazing. Sky colors, the haze, just really everything looks phenomenal. You can see the reflection here of the mountain on the water. FPS is zooming. By the way, guys, I don't know what your experience is like in terms of stutters and things like that, but when I actually fly without the streaming software, things look pretty good. Okay, that's a close-up there. I think that's very reasonable, modeled pretty well in my view. That looks amazing. Very, very nice. Overall, beautiful scene. I can't vouch for how accurate it is unless somebody from Brazil tells us how accurate it is, but I like what I see. It's definitely realistic, so you can see the mountains and the trees and the variation. The vegetation is just really outstanding, the way they modeled this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a break from visiting locations, and I want to just take you guys to the settings. I want to show you what I'm doing in the settings, and I'm actually haven't done much in terms of, you know, tweaking and playing with it. Now, when I run the optimizer, the NVIDIA Experience Optimizer, it actually tells me that the recommended settings are the medium settings for my PC. When I put it on the medium settings, it's fine, but I can definitely go up to high or ultra without much degradation in performance. So let me go here to general and just show you the settings. So first of all, I have a 2K monitor, and it's an Asus monitor with 165 hertz refresh rate. And it is currently overclocked. So normally it's 120 something, 25 I think, and then there are two modes for overclocking the refresh rate to 144 or 165. So currently I have it on 165. The global rendering quality is custom, and that is because I turned off VSync. Now, because this is, by the way, this is a G-Sync monitor. Now, if you turn this on, then you can your frame rate will be limited to either 60 or 30/20. So 20, 30, 60. You cannot really change it anything other than that if VSync is enabled, which I couldn't really understand. I couldn't really understand why that is. But yeah, if you turn off VSync, then basically this is equal to unlimited frames or something like that. Render scaling is at 100. I don't see any reason why we should have this higher. As you go, of course, higher, the scene will look sharper. The resolution or the definition of all the objects in the world will be much, much sharper and far more realistic. But I think what we've seen is pretty reasonable. So I don't think there is any reason why this should be anything more than 100. And if you use 100, then you should use TAA, which is temporal anti-aliasing. It provides really the highest quality, but the biggest cost in terms of performance. The rest is, as you can see, everything is set to ultra or max. So the terrain level detail is the max, object level detail. These are all on ultra. And then if we go to the texture super sampling, it's 6. So you can go to 8 or you can turn it off, 2, 4, 6. So that's the setting where I have it. Texture synthesis, again, at ultra. Water waves is the highest setting, which is high. Shadow maps, you can go from 768, 1024, 1536, or 2048, which is the setting I have. Terrain shadows is set at the 1K. Ultra for the light shafts. Bloom is on. I actually personally don't like bloom, but you know what? Let's turn it off, see what happens. Depth of field is ultra. Lens correction, lens flare is off. Both of these are off. I don't like lens flare. It's extremely unrealistic. So yeah, I don't really use it. So these are the settings in terms of the graphics settings. Camera, I haven't really changed anything there, but I'm going to have a tutorial on how do you set up your drone. Sounds are, as you can see here, the master. Maybe we can lower it just a little bit here to maybe 70%. Traffic, real time is online, and I have everything airport live and land sea traffic all set at 50%. Data, as you can see, everything now live, weather, multiplier, everything is turned on. Current data consumption is 254, so not much during this last flight. Flight model is modern, but you can always go to, you can switch it to the old FSX, flight model if that's what you choose to do. Miscellaneous is the language. You can also select the pilot avatar, the co-pilot instructor. You can select here so you can actually see what the pilot looks like. So yeah, so there you go. You can cycle between them. Nice pilots, co-pilot, and an instructor. And also you can view the legal notes and the credits. Okay, accessibility developers. All right, so let's go back now and let me select, let's say, discard this. All right, so the next destination we're going to go to is, let's see here, main menu. Come on, continue. All right, let me see. So where do you guys want to go next? I can't recall what was the next request. So if you guys can just help me out. switch. Okay. I think it was. All right, we're going to change the aircraft to maybe the crafter here. And we're going to select, I think it was Charlie Yankee, Charlie Tango. Was it this one? Toronto? I think that was it, but I'm not sure. All right, so let's select that. And we're going to say flight conditions. We are going to go to live weather. And then we're going to fly. Ooh, what happened here? There we go. All right, fly. Okay. So now we're going to fly. We're going to take off from Toronto. Area 51. Okay. All right, I'm going to do probably a couple more places and then maybe we'll call it a day, and I will definitely do a lot more content in the days to come. The Grand Canyon. Yeah, we can do that, definitely. It would be nice to do something in New Zealand. Next, LGAV. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. We'll do that. As soon as this one loads, we'll take off, do a few turns, and then we'll go to some other place. Okay, so this is Toronto. For those of you who wanted to see Toronto. And what is going on here? There we go. Yeah, I think my download is not very good today because those buildings look kind of weird. So I think, yeah, I think the internet connection today is not sure what the girls are doing. I think they're watching some Netflix or something. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's take off. The connection is now poor. Stream. Looks like we are experiencing some buffering, guys. So, all right. I'm going to see if this resolves on its own, or maybe we need to. All right, guys. I think we are experiencing some internet connectivity issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just give me a little while. Let me try to fix this, and I will be right back. So let me just pause here for a minute. Connection is back. All right. So I think we were experiencing some buffering there, but I think we're good now. All right, let's go ahead and release the parking brake, and let's give it full power. All right, and rotate. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Just really beautiful. I mean, this looks very, very good. In my view, to have a sim and not really have to purchase any, I mean, there's already scenery out there that you can purchase for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But in my view, even without purchasing anything, this is very, very good. I mean, to me, this is good enough. Really, I don't think that I'm going to buy anything other than, you know, a few Orbex regions or airports. Maybe my favorite airports I will get. But that's pretty much it. There's an aircraft's coming to land here. You can see that. I think it's an Airbus. it's actually landing on water. Yeah, definitely that's a water landing. Yeah, let's switch here to external view. And this is Toronto, Canada, ladies and gentlemen. I think it looks pretty good. Things are popping left, right, and center. I think it's the internet connection. Yeah. But this looks really, really good in my view. Whoa! That was a TBM, huh? Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, this looks really, really good in my view. I don't know. I mean, if anybody's been to, if we have any Canadians still with us, maybe you can tell us, you can tell us, how realistic this is. But this looks outstanding in my view in terms of the scene itself. Looks very, very nice indeed. Now what we can do is we can go to this view here, and if I click on A, we can look at different views here. This is one of my favorites, and you can do this with all the aircraft. Why are the flaps still up? There we go. They're up now. Alright. We can do one thing. We can reduce power. And we're going to just fly close to the ground and see what things look like. How about that? Overall, I think the sim is pretty smooth. But it starts, suffering a little bit with those settings, when I have the streaming software on, then it starts suffering a little bit. All right. While I do this, hey, Dougal, how are you doing, my friend? If you guys can now give me, what was it? Lima Golf Alpha Vector was the next one. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to pitch down here a little bit. Let me trim the aircraft. Yeah, there we go. And we're just going to try to fly closer to the ground and see how things look like. There we go. This looks pretty good. Right, maybe if you guys can give me maybe from Greece, maybe we will fly one of the airliners just to kind of show you guys. In my view, by the way, the best of the three airliners is the Airbus. I do have a lot of comments on the operations, and not everything is 100%, but then I consider it a stock aircraft, so I don't expect it to be 100% in terms of the system simulation, of course. Second is the Boeing 747, and I put the 787 in number 3 in terms of how well it represents the real aircraft, at least from from the visual perspective. All right, so now we're getting close to the ground here, and I think this gives you far better appreciation of all the buildings, the trees, and how everything is modeled in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Of course, there is a lot of technology used to render this scene, including Bing maps, satellite imagery, artificial intelligence, Microsoft Azure, really lots and lots of technology being used to render this beautiful scene. And yeah, I'd be really grateful if somebody can tell us if this is actually what the area looks like in real life, because I don't know, but it looks pretty good. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to take one more destination for you guys. And you guys get to pick the destination. I can't, what was it? Was it Greece? I can't recall. All right. So we are going to take we're going to go back to the main menu and we're going to select maybe, what do you guys want? Which aircraft would you like me to use? Do you want me to use an airliner or... You know what's really interesting is to do something at something like Queenstown in New Zealand. What do you guys think of that? For the matter of Toronto, so it's a real thing. Hey Rand, how are you doing, my friend? Seattle. You know what? Let's do Seattle. Rand has been a supporter of the channel for many, many years. Actually, one of the inspirations for me continuing this channel. So Rand, thank you very much, my friend, for all your support. All right, let me go to, let's see here, options here. All right, so I want to show you guys, I know a lot of you guys are wanting to see the 787 Dreamliner. So you want the which one of the airliners would you guys like to see? Which one? All right, I'm going to pick the first one that comes. So either the Airbus 747 or 787. All right, well, I have a request for the King Air, so that's exactly what we're going to do. You guys don't want the airliners, so let's pick the King Air. Let's see here. Where is the King Air? King Air. There we go. That's the King Air. And we are going to depart from Seattle, Washington. All right, Seattle, here we come. And we're going to say fly. Let me make sure the magnetos are already turned on before we load. Okay, looks good. And let's say fly. All right, so now we're going to load the King Air at Seattle, Washington, based on the request of 2 of the VVIP members here on the Q8Pilot channel. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your support. Right, here we go. By the way, I was really amazed at the modeling of the wildlife, like the elephants, the giraffes, and the grizzly bears, the flamingos. They are actually, for the purpose they should serve in the sim, I think they're modeled pretty well. Maybe the movement is not really, that well modeled, but that's not the purpose of the simulator. But they are actually modeled very, very well. So they look very good, especially from a distance. So they're supposed to be like, points of interest that you fly to them, so you see them from the top. But even when you do a close-up of those models, they actually look very, very realistic. Really, this sim is amazing, guys. It's really something that has blown the world away, at least in the flight sim community. It's been blown away by the simulator. And I will be doing, by the way, videos to compare, X-Plane with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to be, all of that good stuff we're going to be doing in the coming days. So, we're going to say that we're ready to fly, and this is the Beechcraft King Air, and this is Seattle, Washington. And what we're going to do is we're going to depart straight out. We're going to make a turn and we're going to head back over towards the city. We will pass by Boeing Airfield on our way. So here's what we're going to do now. We are going to release the parking brake, and we're going to give it some power here. What was that? All right, here we go. Sounds are amazing. Airspeed active. A little bit of wind here. Ooh, a lot of wind. But this isn't real weather. I don't think I've set it up. All right, here we go. Rotate. Frames been suffering there. Nothing too serious though. All right, let's bring the flaps up. And let me switch to external view. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, Seattle, Washington, one of my favorite states besides California in the United States. And if you're ever in the vicinity, you must visit Seattle. And you must also visit Old Seattle, which was burned, by the way. They've got some nice tours there. Now, of course, with the COVID, I'm not sure what the situation is like over there. But this looks amazing. All right, let's make the turn, and we're going to head over to the city there. So you can see Boeing Airfield is right there. How do you do so that the FPS does not drop? Well, I think what you need to do is you need to find your sweet spot for your PC specs. I highly recommend that you start with one of the low presets, like maybe the medium preset, and you tweak that one. So the medium preset will probably work very well on most PCs, including, by the way, mid-range PCs. They should work pretty well, and you work your way from that preset. You can start adding things. This is a nice view here that we can take a look at. By the way I am panning now and switching the view is I'm just using the hat switch, and by default, when you one of the mappings that's already done on the flight on the Alpha Flight Control, you can go here now and you can zoom in and look at your instruments, the switches, all the different components here. So yeah, you can do that for sure. All right, let's trim the aircraft a bit here. All right. And go to external view again. Now this looks like Seattle, guys. I've been there many times in real life, and it's a very Seattle-looking scene. That's Boeing Airfield, by the way, right there. Just beautiful. By the way, I'm not sure if I have real weather. Yeah, I didn't think that it was live. Now, I'm going to go to live weather. We're heading towards the city, where we can see all the buildings. There we go. Right, let's reduce our speed just a tad here. I did a short flight in the TBM, and I was actually amazed that it's pretty accurate, because I know the torque sim or the hot start TBM in X-Plane by account of real-world pilots is a very accurate representation of the real aircraft. And so when I flew the TBM in Microsoft Flight Simulator, in terms of the simulation of the systems, by the way, it kind of looked very similar to, it seemed very similar to the TBM model. Space Needle is up ahead, which is a point of interest that we can visit. Well, yeah, this looks pretty good. Look at that. It's really, really good. Okay, and the vegetation, the trees, the variation, the placement, everything is just amazing. You can see the turbulence now, and you can see how the aircraft responds to turbulence. Yeah, this definitely looks like Seattle. And I believe this is one of the handcrafted areas in the sim. So it kind of receives that special treatment. Overall, I am quite impressed with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I believe that it is by far the best, has the best representation of the world and all the elements of the world, such as, the weather, the water, thunderstorms, all that good stuff. The depiction of, the vegetation, forest, snow, water, rain, everything's just really done very, very well in my view. There we go, that's the Space Needle. And we're just going to make a turn here. And we're going to take a good look at it here while we make the turn to the other side. I think that looks very, very good. Yeah.
500.
Well, folks, I think this is pretty much what I wanted to show you in this live stream. Unless you have another burning request. Here, let me go to the main menu here and see if I can do one more thing for you guys in this stream. Again, this is just a first look at Microsoft Flight Simulator, so if there's something specific that you want me to show you, I'll be more than happy to do it. Let me see here. It is very stuttery in Seattle. Yeah, I think it's OBS. It's the streaming software. So hopefully, when I do my videos, you will see a much smoother experience. And the download appears to be suffering as well today. It looks like my girls are streaming Netflix, so it affects my ability also to download content. So let's see here. Okay, so guys, I want to thank you very much for tuning in into this live stream tonight. At least it's night here in Kuwait. It's time for me to hit the sack. So I am going to tell you guys good night or good morning, wherever you are in the world. I really enjoyed doing this stream with you guys, and perhaps we'll do more challenges, more trainings, and more full flights and tutorials in the days to come. I didn't want the day to pass without, being able to kind of do something for you guys and let you watch Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know there's a ton of content on the internet, and everybody is streaming or making videos of Microsoft Flight Simulator, quite rightfully. So in my view, it is a very big thing in the flight sim community today, something that revolutionizes really the way we fly on a desktop computer. Definitely something that brings us a lot closer to reality. And in a lot of respects, I think MSFS makes the dream of many, or make the dreams of many flight simmers out there become a reality finally. So definitely, I am totally excited about Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I'm totally exhausted, folks. So I'm going to call it a night. I want to really thank you once more for tuning in today. I want to thank all the new members who've joined the Q8 Pilot channel today, and for all the existing members for your support. For all the new subscribers, welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all in another Microsoft Flight Simulator video very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.